There comes a time in every man's life when silence speaks louder than words, when the look in your partner's eyes isn't love, but indifference, and when the words she speaks don't hurt you, because they've already hollowed you out. Carl Jung once said, "Loneliness does not come from being alone, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you." And if your wife says these 5 things to you, it's not just communication that's gone. It's the bond, the respect, and the essence of the soul connection that once tied you together. This is not a tale of hate. It's a tale of recognition, of courage, of letting go when love has already left. Let's walk through the mind of a man who stayed too long, and the 5 things his wife said that told him, "You are no longer loved here." He stood at the doorway, groceries in hand. She looked at him. Not with warmth, not with irritation, but with disgust. And then came the first blow. "Why are you even here?" Those words might seem small, but to a man who has given years of his life, who sacrificed dreams for dinners, desires for diapers, this isn't a question. It's a verdict. Jung believed that in our later years, we begin the process of individuation, becoming whole, becoming ourselves. But how can a man become himself when the one who once believed in him now questions his very existence? Question is not just cruel, it's existential. It strips a man of his identity. And when she says this, you must understand, she doesn't see you anymore. She sees an inconvenience, and you must go. He remembered the winters he worked late. The summers, he skipped vacations to pay for her parents' hospital bill. The nights, he rocked crying children while she slept. The anniversaries he planned, alone, the quiet sacrifices. But on an ordinary Tuesday, after asking if she needed help in the kitchen, she turned around and said, "You've never done anything for me?" That's when his hands began to shake. Carl Jung wrote, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But what if one transforms and the other only takes?" This sentence is a brutal rewrite of history. It erases your effort. It belittles your journey. And it says your love meant nothing. If she says this to you, not once in anger, but as a belief, you're not in a relationship. You're in a hostage situation. Find your soul as the ransom. Leave. Quietly, dignified, but leave. The words didn't even come in a fight. They came in the quiet. After dinner, after the dishes, when he tried to hold her hand like he used to, she pulled away, looked him in the eye, and with a cold finality said, "I don't need you anymore." This is not independence. It's his rejection masked as empowerment. Jung said, "The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents." And too often, when one partner reclaims their lost identity, they forget to honor the one who helped them carry it for years. She may not need your money. She may not need your help, but if she no longer needs your presence, not your strength, not your wisdom, not your company, then you're not a partner. You're a placeholder. If she says this and you feel the truth in her tone, don't argue, don't beg. Walk away with your self-respect intact, 'cause the soul that is no longer welcomed must not beg to stay. They were watching a movie, a scene with a rich man. A charming man. And she turned, half laughing, half serious, and said, "I wish I had married someone else." It was a dagger wrapped in a joke. Jung often wrote about shadows, the parts of our psyche we hide. But sometimes, in these careless comments, the truth escapes from the shadow. This sentence is betrayal, not of the present, but of the past you both built together. It rewrites decades. It mocks memories. It tells you, you were never enough. And if she says this, not once, but often, if she dreams aloud of a different life without you, then understand, her heart has already packed its bags. You're just living with a shell. Leave not in anger, but to protect the man you used to be, because no man should live with the ghost of another man haunting his home. This is not about family. This is about dehumanizing you. He remembered the first time she said it after a minor argument. "You're just like your father. Arrogant, selfish, always playing the victim." He stayed silent, but that night he cried in the shower. When your wife compares you to someone she despises, she's not just insulting you. She's saying, "I've stopped seeing you. I now only see what I hate." Carl Jung emphasized the importance of integration, of knowing who we are, and making peace with our past. But when the person closest to you uses your past as a weapon, that's not love. That's psychological warfare. If she brings up your bloodline to break your spirit, if she compares you to people she knows wound you, she's not loving you, she's dismantling you. If you stay, you will forget the sound of your own worth. Leave so that your soul may remember its original name. Let it be clear, this is not an attack on women. This is not permission for bitterness. This is an invitation to awareness. Many women suffer the same emotional abuse from their partners. Many men ignore the warning signs until it's too late. But this is for the man sitting in the dark, questioning his sanity, wondering if love is supposed to feel like guilt. Carl Jung didn't write self-help books. He explored the human soul, okay? And if he were here today, he would look you in the eyes and say, you are not wrong to feel broken, but staying in a place where love has died will only kill what little remains of you. Sometimes the bravest thing a man can do in his old age is walk away. Not because he hates her, but because he finally loves himself. To every man whose heart was shattered by the one he once gave it to, you are not weak. You are not crazy. You are not alone. Listen closely. If she says these 5 things to you, she has already left in spirit. Now it's your turn.